fabulous.
You look
Hello.
fabulous, darling.
Don't you look fabulous?
I think we both look fabulous.
I agree. I think we're ready, right for the occasion.
For the occasion of our People Like Us season 1 finale. How
I
have months gone
know
by?
it's like bittersweet. I'm sad, but I'm also so excited about this episode.
And also about a break because we need a minute to regroup.
Yes, we need a minute. We need a few minutes to just kind of like.
In a minute, I'm Anita.
In a minute.
But I'm excited.
Yes.
Did I drop out? Yeah. We're going to deal with thunderstorms today because there's thunderstorms in Orlando, like a hurricane outside.
Oh, no. We're gonna pray. We're gonna pray. Today's the last one, and we're excited.
I'm like,
yes, pray the rain away. We're really excited. Thank you to everybody that's joining us. Thank you for everybody that's gone through this journey with us. It's definitely been a learning experience. We've had a lot of fun doing it, and so today we wanted to bring you something that's very special and dear and near to our hearts. So the reason why we decided to do this today as a finale is because if anyone knows us, they know that we are huge Sex and the City fans. And if you didn't know that, well, now you know. And we wanted to kind of share everything that we love about this show, this phenomenon,
everything.
I mean, everything. I don't think that people realize how big this is and how big it has been in our life. And I mean, for me, it's everything. And a few fun facts before we get started. You know me, I'm a little bit of a history buff, so I want to make sure everybody was aware, right, of the history of Sex and the City. So Sex and the City premiered June 6, 1998. Okay, that was the first time that it aired, and it was an HBO special. It concluded February 22nd, 2004. It had 6 years running on air. It had 6 seasons and a total of 94 episodes. 94 episodes is all it took. And here we are over 23 years later in love with this show, its characters, what it stands for. And again, if you don't know and you haven't seen it, I urge you, I hope that this episode and our season finale kind of like intrigues you to go back and start watching it because you're going to fall in love. Yeah, 2010, 10 years later, they made, 2008. I'm sorry, 2008. So that was 10 years later from the original release of the series. They made their first movie, which was a phenomenon in itself. And it kind of grabbed a whole new generation, right, of fans and of people that just fell in love with the show. And in 2010, they did their second movie. And again, whoever wasn't on the bandwagon the first year and wasn't on the bandwagon in the seasons learned to love it. And then kind of, I just feel like it just keeps going, picking people up on the way. And then 2021, we have Just Like That, which is their new series that's airing on HBO Max as well. So 23 years, that's a long time.
Long
time. And
for us young folk, it's almost our whole life. Like
it's insane. I'm like, I have been in love with the show for 23 years. I was one of the people that watched it in 1998. And I remember, just hanging by the TV like, oh yeah, it plays today. And there was something about the show that captivated me from the very beginning. And as the years went on, I just got worse and worse. I just love it. I love everything about it. So definitely wanting to dive in and share this with you.
So I started watching it in 2004 when I went off to college. My roommate was obsessed with it, and I watched the whole series in one summer. He had all the DVDs, and we sat there. DVDs are like, they look like a CD, Humans, and they play a movie.
Yeah.
And we watched the whole entire series. So the movie came out when? 2010?
Yes.
So, I mean, I was a good diehard fan for 6 full years, lot less than you, but I was
Well, 2008, the first movie came out in 2008.
okay, so 4 years.
Yes. And then the second one, yes, came out in 2010. I made a mistake the first time I said
But
it.
I've definitely, like, made my love with the amount of times I can watch the show, it never gets old, so, yeah, we're definitely gonna talk about it, all of the things that we love.
All of the, I mean, I literally have it on all the time. It's just my background noise, and I laugh every single episode. It's just, it never gets old to me, and it's insane. I can go through all the seasons, and then I'm like, oh, starting again in the first one all over again. I just love it. It's such a comfort for me.
Yeah. Well, and it
So,
wouldn't make sense for us to watch this show, right, without us having a toast for our finale and for the girls.
yes, and we are drinking the one and only Cosmopolitan.
Look how cute!
Yay! Cheers.
Oh my god, how do you
Cheers to
hold it
anyone
so
that's watching and has theirs ready to go.
you're so graceful the way you hold it. I'm like, "It's gonna fall." Like,
It's an oldie but a goodie.
all the buddy good. I love our glasses. They're so cute.
They are so cute. Shout out to my mother-in-law that had a martini glass.
I more so meant like the garnishing and all of that. You did good,
I
kid.
know my garnish is just like I'm peeling it like if it was a potato, and I'm like, that one looks great. The one on the screen, it's beautiful.
Ours look great too. I think they're adorable. They're definitely like photo shoot Instagram worthy.
Oh, well, let's make sure we refill later so we can take the picture. So,
Yes.
yes, we are definitely going to go through memory lane. Here the girls are drinking their Cosmopolitans. This is the signature drink of the
Yay!
show, the series, the movie. If you guys are a fan, then you already know that. This is what they drunk. They would go and order their Cosmos, and it's delicious.
It is also stronger than what I normally drink, so I understand why many times they ended up drunk.
Well, girls gotta have
Well,
a little fun every now and then.
absolutely.
All right, so moving right along, we're gonna go through these slideshows as quickly as we can because I wanted to put 23 years into 1 hour. So
Ready, set, go.
these are basically the covers of all of the seasons. So
I
you'll
love
see
it.
them starting off like season 1, season 2, season 3, and then the movie. It doesn't have the second movie, but it has all 6 seasons. You can see how different they look, how, they started getting just chicer. Their makeup started getting a little bit, bolder. Back in the 90s, guys, just so you know, anybody that's, a newer generation doesn't know, makeup wasn't what it is now at all. Makeup was just something that was used, as an accessory type of thing. It was the
Very
lipstick.
different.
It was very different. And especially in the series, you can tell a lot of, I mean, everything is about fashion and it's not about makeup. The statements are not made with makeup like they are now. So I
Yeah.
think that's pretty cool too, to see, right? Like the differences in what the
Well, there's a
styles were.
simplicity to the makeup. I mean, yes, they had something on, but it was like a lip and a little eye, and there was none of the contouring and the MAC makeup that we
No.
have now. It didn't exist. It just wasn't a thing. So
Yeah.
it definitely was a lot of a simpler time and more. I mean, look at there's a bunch of covers here. 2 of them, everyone's wearing a black dress, and they all
Yeah.
look great. It's like
And
it's
they look
very,
fine. Yeah. Super cute.
yeah.
I love it. Love, love, love.
And then I think
I'm
that
gonna
it was also cool that you brought up, even to my attention, putting in perspective how they were well before their time. I thought this was so cool.
How insane is this? So this was their first episode.
Yeah.
Their very first episode, June 6, 1998. And they're celebrating a birthday in a drag kind of brunch restaurant. And
Yeah.
I found this online. They're still very much open.
Yeah.
And they do birthday celebrations, bachelorettes, girls' night out, RuPaul's Drag Race fans.
When I
or
say
Sex
next
and the
time we
City
go to
fans.
New York, we're going to this spot.
We have to do that. We didn't even know about this. How did we not know? We could have gone.
I know. But it is really cool because the 90s, this wasn't now it's like nothing. It's not a big deal. Everyone goes to the drag brunch, but this is so cool to see. And put it in the timeline sense. So yeah, I loved
Very
it.
cool. And again, the first episode, it's not like they talked about this towards the end.
There was no lead up.
No.
It was
So
just yep.
well before their time, they were so bold. The show talks about inclusivity in so many different ways,
Yeah.
about women empowerment. You know, they're strong, they're independent, they have good jobs. You know, they talk about the LGBT community and, you know, having them be inclusive. And it's just this big pot of like everything and anything goes, and their sexuality is to a whole nother level, and they talk about things that women wouldn't dare to talk about. And as a woman, you look at that and you're so proud of it. You know, I am very proud of what this show has brought into so many women's lives, so many people. I think you're stuck a little bit. We're gonna pray to the weather gods again.
It's coming.
There you go. You're back.
I can watch it. I see the little thing happening. I'm like,
You're
stop
back.
it.
You're back.
When we were looking at clips, and I remember that conversation that Carrie had at one moment, and the guy, what's it, Skippy? What's
Skippy?
And she's like, are you gay? And it was like conversational. It wasn't as big a deal as it is now, 30 years later, which it should be more normal. It was like, are you gay? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah, he's like super emotional guy, and she's like, you sure you're not gay, right? And he's like, no, I'm not.
Like,
she's like, all right.
Yeah, like what?
Yeah, it wasn't an offensive situation, like, as now it's very, very touchy and very, you know, totally. Things have changed in a way that personally, my opinion, not necessarily in the best way at times, you know?
Yeah, I think it's cool that it was just so like, it was just, okay, it was just a question. Like, it wasn't a big deal. Exactly. And coming off of this comment, I think this is a hilarious comment when the next picture to come up looks like this. So I don't know which era.
I will say,
was it Miranda?
Charlotte all day long, though. Anna is a Charlotte all day long.
But Miranda. Cheers to Miranda starting with hair like this and making it through to be one of the best looking ones in the end. Because her fashion in the movies, oh my God.
Her fashion, I really truly believe, has been the most like roller coaster that's changed.
It's ridiculous. Like
it's evolved in a good way, in a very good way. These are all the girls having they would meet up for lunches and brunches and dinners and just sitting there. I believe this is like the park or something. They would go for, you know, on their lunch breaks or whatever. Yeah. And just their relationship was just so amazing to find smart, educated women that were all very different, because these women were very, very different and still find such love in each other. And, you know, just finding that you're people, what we always talk about.
People like us. And it's true. They make up a puzzle of people. Because like the age old question of like, who are you in Sex and the City? And it's like, a bunch of them. Like it's not an easy answer.
It's not. And we've talked about this so many times before. And it's like, well, I'm a mix of this one. I'm a mix of that one. And we can show everybody like everything, and then we'll say who we think we are.
Yeah.
Because I think that'll be fun. Anna's watching too, which is good, because that's our third.
That's our Charlotte.
Look at this. How amazing.
It's hilarious. It's like hilarious.
They're in a ballpark. Looking fabulous. I don't look like that when I go to a ballpark.
I mean, I don't go to ballparks, but you know. Oh yeah, I don't go to ballparks. So I do this though. I love this. This you can feel this. You can literally like I don't even remember what they're talking about. It doesn't even matter. It's just such a real laughter in that photo. Nobody can convince me that's acting. Whatever it was, they were cracking the heck up. And we know that.
Yeah. They had a very good bond, very good chemistry. So it showed.
Yeah. And here's an example of Miranda looking better. Much better.
I love it. They're just so bold, and their fashion is so forward. And again, especially in that time, I mean, listen, there's a lot of labels that go on. I mean, listen, I came prepared. I have my Tory. I have a little Chanel.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I have my little Tiffany's and my Michael Kors. Yeah. I mean,
stay like that. Talk like that for a little while. I love it.
I can't see. Okay, guys. I'm gonna
Oh
stay
my
like this for like
god.
2 minutes.
You'd be like
And then
jumping
I'm
over like
caught. I'm gonna take it all off.
do like the Devil Wears Prada and like look over the ah! Stop it.
All right. So I'll stay like this just for,
Oh my
Halloween
god,
sake.
it's hilarious.
Yeah, just a few. I just wanted to put a few clips in of
Yeah,
the girls and their bonds and how they would meet and, always make time for each other no matter what was going
I
on in
love
their life,
that.
guys. Friendships are important. And
And we
I'm
talked
so proud
about
of
it.
our friendship and
Yes.
our trio that we've done so good. I love us so much and I'm so proud of us. Cheers, Anna. We love you. And yeah, super happy that we've been able
Absolutely. I
to do
mean,
this too.
and that's the life that we lived when we were living in the same city. We would go to brunch, we would meet up for this, we'd go to the mall real quick. Like we didn't need an event calendar. We were the event,
Yeah.
darling.
It was
Like
like, what are
we
you
loved
doing?
it.
Let's go here. Let's go there. Exactly. That's how it should be. And it's just, I love it. And I love the way that this show always channels that love for each other in their friendships. So,
Completely. And so now we're
yeah.
gonna go girl by girl, right?
Yes, we're going to introduce to you the ladies. These are our ladies, and we're going to make sure that everybody gets to know them.
And
So,
so first up we have Miss Charlotte York Goldenblatt.
yes,
So
I love it.
classy, so cute, so love. It's all love. I see Charlotte as just like the Cinderella love, like just
She
pure.
is she is the sweetest. She is the most naive. She is a dreamer. She
Yeah.
believes in love no matter what. And that is such a quality to have.
Oh, I love
You
that
know,
second
to
that
have
second
that,
picture.
yeah, like just no matter what happens, it's like, no, like love is gonna conquer, and everybody wants love and everybody needs love. And no matter what she went through in her life, as Charlotte in the show, she was always optimistic.
Yeah.
And even when Carrie was writing her books, because Carrie's, the writer, she dedicated her first book to her good friend Charlotte, that always believes that love is going to find a way no matter what. And I think that that's such an important lesson. She was, what did she do in the museum? She had a degree in
She was
something
like
something
she
something
was the art
arts.
gallery curator
She
lady.
wasn't, yeah, she had an art gallery that she worked in, and she had like majored in I don't know what. So she was also, a powerhouse, educated woman, with just her heart on her sleeve. We love Charlotte.
And I love her moments. And Anna, I mean, we're talking about Anna. You guys don't know Anna. Like we're gonna have a show with her one day. Like bring
Yes.
her on. But like this is so I can see Anna through and through. Like the classy, the cute, the and then the innocence, and then like statements like I'm pretty, I'm smart, I'm a catch. Like
And then like the boom statements where you're like, what? It came out of the field and you're cracking up and it makes so much
statements like
sense.
this one.
I love it. I love it.
Oh my god.
It's like that's just, yeah. She's like, it's backwards. That's my bad.
That's
It's
okay.
backwards. But it says, I mean, don't you ever just want to be pounded like really hard? Like, just when your head's against the board and you're all sweaty. And it's so funny because that's just not her normal, her normal way of being. So it's so funny.
It's not expected. It comes out of nowhere, and you're like,
No.
"What?" And that's
Yeah.
our Anna. So
She's like the most prudent, the most poised, the most, put together, and like, oh, she's very ladylike. And then boom, every once in a while she would say something that you would just be like, and this is why they're all friends.
yep, you need it. And then she's like, everything happens for a reason. If you don't, even if you don't know what it is yet.
Yes, exactly. That's our Charlotte. She's very graceful. Like, yeah.
Yep. And then, of course, one of the favorite moments is, it's because women just really want to be rescued. And this is where she says, like, I've been dating my whole life. Where is he?
Yeah,
like,
she's
oh, the white knight.
Like, yes. One of their main, all these conversations that normally revolved around guys.
It doesn't look like the moving gifts are moving. So I'm sorry for the weird photo, Charlotte.
It's okay. I've been dating for 15. I'm exhausted. Where is he? Like, again, the hopeful, romantic, the loving, wanting to find her Prince Charming.
I just
We
love it
love
so
her.
much. And then her relationship, of course, with Anthony, we love so much.
Yes. All right. I'm taking this off. I'm about to take my hat off too. All right. It's
Yeah.
going off for a few minutes, guys. Woo! It's hot.
So
All right.
her relationship with Anthony is one of our favorites because Anthony's such an out there, outlandish, says whatever's on his mind, New Yorker, and
Yes.
it's so different than her, which is why they work. But he's also hilarious. Hates it.
He's like an Italian powerhouse, right?
And
So
this is who
everything
he
he
is
says,
authentically. Like he does stand up, and this is who he is.
that
He's
is
such
who
a
he is, which is why the role was so perfect for
it
him
was
because
perfect.
it he just kind of just it's him.
Yeah.
And everything he says, it's like with an attitude, and he's like in your face, and you love him for it because he
Yeah.
says everything everybody's thinking and nobody says. That's who says it.
Yep. I love it. Like, when did you last have sex? If you have to think, it's been too long.
It's been too long. Yeah. Like he's just such a hornball. It's so funny. All right. I think we froze
Love
a
it
little bit
so
here.
much.
It's
I'm
so
coming
good.
back. I'm coming back. It's fine. Just
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So what do we have next? Okay. So this
Okay,
is
I'm back.
the
Sorry.
this is this is the iconic moment, right, where they're Carrie's not having a good day, she's single, blah 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 blah, same thing, women crying they need a man, they want a
Yeah.
man. And she says in her most innocent, just her heart on her sleeve, she's like, don't laugh at me, but maybe we can be each other's soulmates, and we can just let men be these great nice guys to have fun with. And what I love most about this scene is that Samantha,
Same. That's what makes it so good.
which Samantha, you guys will get to know a little further in our lineup here, is the I don't need love, is the fierce, I just want to use guys like they use women. She's like the least emotional, least maternal, least, she's just like in your face. And she's the one that says, you know what? That sounds like a plan. And I
And
love that.
she says it so sweet to her. Like, she'd be the first one to laugh and judge. And it was such a real, like, you know what? That sounds like a plan. And she grabs her hand. Like, it is such a
Yeah.
sweet moment. It's I was gonna say the same thing. That's what I love. Because the other
Yeah.
two could have said it and it would have been like, okay, normal. That wasn't expected. So I
Yeah,
love that
it
moment
was
too.
from the person that was the least expected. The writers did really good with that because
Yep.
this is one of the most iconic quotes of this series, of of
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And I love that it was her.
And then of course we have her wedding.
She finds her Prince Charming. She has her wedding, and she's super in love and she's super happy. Um, I think, yeah, there goes. There's also a quote that I wasn't able to find to correlate. I don't believe I did. I don't remember. There's so many of them, guys. I have no idea. But basically, Carrie's like, it's hard to find one person that's going to love you and accept you as you are. And I was lucky enough to find three.
And this is a very hard moment for Carrie. Like,
Yes.
and I remember so much feeling like that's what a friend is. Like, you could be going through anything, but you still show up. You're still
Yeah.
there when it counts and when you're supposed to be, you show
Yeah.
up. Like, you're not selfish and then go, well, I'm going through a hard time. Now she showed up. So,
Absolutely.
and then we have her second
So
wedding.
her first marriage was a bust. If you want to
Didn't work
find
out.
out more, watch the
Spoiler
series.
alert.
Yeah. She gets married to Harry, which she didn't think she was going to get married to, and didn't have anything in common, and didn't really like him. And then that ended up being the love of her life.
Yep.
So she had her second wedding. She was reproductively challenged. Another spoiler alert. They were able to adopt. This is the scene where she is adopting, and this is her beautiful baby girl, Lily. And, just kind of showing her story, kind of what she
Yeah.
went through in a nutshell as fast as possible.
Which is also a real thing that a lot of women go through, right? Like,
Yeah, absolutely. And that's another thing. The show was very relatable to women in very like many ways and shapes and forms.
yeah. And then in this next picture comes one of my favorite quotes of all time. I have a clip if you want it now.
Go for it.
It is one of my favorites of all.
I curse the day you were born.
Yeah.
I curse the day you were born.
Remember
So she
when
finally
she
gets
asked her?
pregnant. She
What?
gets pregnant after Lily, right? In movie. And go ahead. She runs into Big.
Well, I just love the moment where she tells Carrie, like, I know what I'm going to say. And then she says something, I'm not quoting exactly because I never do, but something like, work up a little hand gesture or something. And then she does it like it's so good.
Yeah, it's so good. It's like her sticking up for her friend. That was Carrie's, ex. So she saw him and she was like, I'm not having it. I'm mad at you. So that's an amazing moment.
Yes. And then we obviously fast forward and
Then,
she has two
yeah,
babies.
just showing that she did it. She was able to overcome. She has her Lily, which she loves so much, and she was adopted. And then she had her baby Rose, which she was able to have on her own. So we were very happy for Charlotte being able to have the beautiful family that she wanted, even though they were driving her crazy.
Do you want to show now why she was so mad at Big, or you want to wait and show that later?
We could show that later and tie it in, like when we do the Carrie pictures.
All right, so we're moving on to our next girl then. Miss Miranda Hobbs.
Miranda Hobbs.
Oh, you
We
see
love
that
Miranda.
middle picture? Girl, everything.
Yes.
Shape, color. Me gusta.
She's a
Love it.
powerhouse attorney. She's not one to be messed with. She is sarcastic and she's in your face and she is very
cynical.
matter of factly. She is unapologetic for who she is. And we love her. We love her humor. Like,
It's all funny.
all
I drink
day,
coffee,
every day.
I have sex, buy pies, and enjoy battery-operated devices.
Yeah, she's talking to her
To
her
me.
housekeeper, which kept moving her vibrators, and she's like, "Ma'am,
She's like,
I can't say I love you. It's not in my DNA." Like, see, she's this, by interesting men, she means single and rich. Like, she's very, very sarcastic, very like just no BS type of friend.
Absolutely. And then when she moves to Brooklyn and she's like, stop. You can take me out of my hand, but not out of my shoes.
Yep. And we all need a friend like Miranda that's going to snap you into it when you need it and is going to be matter of factly and is going to tell you things how it is. And it's coming with all of the love in the world. She is such a good friend and she loves her friends so
Deeply.
much, very deeply. It's just she can be a little abrasive and she can be a little harsh getting her point across. But we love that about her. We love that. And her friends have had moments in the series where they're like, okay, like, no, like, relax. And they come to find out later, like, she was right.
Yeah, completely. Steve.
We love Steve. Steve is Miranda's love interest, and realistically, the only one that she had that was very consistent throughout.
Yeah, she had a few little guys in the beginning, like dates and stuff, but this guy lasted a long time.
No, like, Carrie, even Samantha and Charlotte had different like main guys. She never did. And I think that's
because she was all about her job.
Who she is, of like, she dated these guys and she dated a whole bunch of guys and it was just like, And then Steve comes along and Steve is the one that actually stayed. She ended up having a baby with Steve. Brady.
And then happy time.
There's Magda. Happy time. We love Magda. Magda's one of those characters that's not a main character, but wins your heart and you love Magda and you learn to love her humor, the way that she moves around the house, the faces that she makes. Like, she's just like,
she knows everything.
I want to bring her home with me half the time. I'm like, I love Magda. And she was there throughout the whole entire season.
I love when that scene is one of our favorites. She's like, happy time. She's like, happy time. And then everyone starts clapping. She's like, happy time.
She's at a wedding and everybody's like silent. And she's like, guys, happy time. Like, she's from Ukraine. So she has a very strong Ukrainian accent. And we love our Magda. Yes. And she made such a difference in the series. I really believe that.
Yeah, totally. I love her.
We love our Magda.
Me, I never had an opinion in my life.
Yep. I could relate, girl.
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 All right, so we're moving on to our
Spoiler
next
alert.
girl. Girl, have a lot of opinions.
All right, so who's next? What other girl do we got?
Samantha Jones, of course.
She looks so gorgeous in that picture, does she
She's
not?
stunning. I mean,
She's
she's
so
a
beautiful.
mannequin. Get what I did there? Do you get it? Because she's from, okay.
Dudum-tsh. Oh no, I left my refill in the freezer. You best believe I'm gonna get up and go get it. And one of your videos, I'm like,
let me know. I'll cut you out of the scene. Samantha, I love her for being bold and truly unapologetic. Didn't give a F about what anybody thought. She literally, I mean, again, thinking about the 90s, like I think right now you see more women like this, but this is a different era. And she just was obsessed with sex. She loved it. And she's like, why can men love it and I can't? Like, and very
I don't want a
racy and in your
relationship. I
face,
don't want
said whatever she
marriage. I don't want kids. I don't want what everybody tells me that I should have. I want to be single, fabulous. I want to sleep around and it's okay. And it's my body and I'm not going to be apologetic and I'm not going to be shamed. And that's who she was. And you're right. In the 90s, that's a very big deal.
Very. And she was older. She wasn't like a young 20-year-old being in your face. She was older and it was not seen. And I love the way she just didn't care what people thought. And I love her comparison to men. Like, I'm just doing what men do. And why is it such a problem? And it typically
and
is,
I love that statement you just made. It's not a 20-year-old being rebellious.
Right.
This is a grown woman. She was in public relation, owned her own company, knew what she wanted, knew what she stood for, and didn't feel like she needed anybody's validation. And that's so important.
Yeah. Totally important. I love it. I love it so much. You know, I can't say that I relate to her being as bold as her, but I admire it. So I'm like, girl, you're everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. Great quote here. Like, yeah, I'm harsh. I'm also demanding, stubborn, self-sufficient, and always right.
And always right. That's her. That's just how she is. Her character. Yeah.
It's delicious.
You know, what can I say? I need a big dick. Like these are.
That's what she was like. Long, hard, pink. It's delicious. Like,
yeah. I mean, this is just what you can expect to hear from her every morning at brunch or whenever they would go out for drinks or just anytime she was in a scene. She was always the one to just be like, I did this and it was amazing and he was great. And she would give all the dirty details, you know? And then she would also be very like, you know, what happened in the past, leave it there. Like she was very much always ready to turn the chapter. Like, you didn't do me right. You didn't treat me correctly. You don't know my worth. Bye. Whoever you were. She adds a lot of like lessons and values.
Yeah. But again, this is a very dramatic scene in the show, but it's the point we're making. Like, I will not be judged by you or society. I'll wear whatever I want, blow whoever I want, as long as I can breathe and kneel. Like, I think it's truly the essence of her character. Like, y'all can say what you want, but I'm gonna do what I do.
Yeah. And I agree. It's like the other ends of the, you know, because that's who she was. Her character is very extravagant.
Yeah,
this is one of your favorites.
Love it so much. Shit, motherfucker, fuck, shit. Just like, but it's because of Carrie's response.
But okay, so walk them through the scene.
So she's asking her, "Can we go on a trip?" Right? And everyone's like, "Yeah." And then she opens up her planner and she's like, "Shit, motherfucker, fuck, shit." And Carrie goes, "We have a shit, motherfucker, fuck, shit situation."
And those are the natural dialogues.
Like,
yeah, those are the natural dialogues that they have that's so funny, that make the show so funny all the time. Because it's not like
as well. Like, that's how we vibe. It's so funny.
It was just spitting shit back and forth and very natural and not just, and it's funny. It worked.
Totally. That girl needs the stick out of her ass and a dick in her coochie.
Pronto. Like, she was just always like that girl. Like, that person has an attitude. They need to go have sex.
Absolutely.
She falls in love, and she falls in love with Richard. And she has all the hesitations and she doesn't want to fall in love with him. And she does. And of course, that goes, south and doesn't really work to her favor.
And who
But
cares?
it
Because then
shows
she
us,
gets this man.
it shows us the side of her that even though she's proud of who she is and she's unapologetic,
She can still be vulnerable, and she's still a woman. She's still loved.
exactly, she still wants to be loved and she still wants to be taken care of. And here comes this young guy, that has no idea who she is or how she is, and he's open and raw with her.
Yeah.
And causes her to be the same. So Jared, we all love our Jared. Smith
The
Jared.
absolute hunk.
Smith Jared, we love him.
What was his real name?
Jerry Jared, or
Jared.
something like that. Jerry Jared. And she's like,
Jerry
what?
Jared?
She changed his name.
Now, of course,
Watch
this
the
is a moment that nobody who loves the show will ever forget, right? Like, she's going through her cancer, and him being a beautiful, loving person that he is, his hair is part of his celebrity, right? And he was like, let's do this. And that's a moment that he broke her. Like, he literally changed her forever in that moment.
Yeah, she realized. And I think that's a moment she just let all her guards down and let him in 100%.
Yeah.
Very good moment.
And then to our main gal of gals, Miss Carrie Bradshaw.
Carrie Bradshaw carrying her Manolo Blahniks.
Of course she is. What else would she be carrying? Carrying!
Oh my God. Look what you did there.
I made a pun. Yay, puns.
We love it. We love her. She has obsession with shoes and fashion. She is the, oh my God, the Mary Janes.
These are a legend. These are urban myth.
This is an urban myth. I didn't think they existed. Do you know what these are? And then there she is in her closet with all of her shoes where, she's a woman that just lived for fashion. What was it? She said when she first moved into the city and she didn't have enough money, it was either eating a meal or buying a Vogue magazine. And she would buy the Vogue magazine because she felt it fed her soul.
Yeah. I love her because I relate to a writer mentality. I love her creative and her kookiness. I also think that she wears the craziest shit that only she can get away with. Like, there's stuff that is so ridiculous, but I'm like, oh, she looks so cute. And it's just because it's her. And still to this day, Sarah Jessica Parker still lives in the same bubble because she wears some stuff sometimes as out of pocket. And you look at it, you're like, oh, she looks so good. It's just,
and I love it. I love the stuff that she wears. I agree with you. And let me say what I absolutely love the fact that Sarah Jessica Parker went on to be a shoe designer. I think that is brilliant. I think that she is so smart. She has this huge shoe collection, and it just kind of like makes sense with Carrie and her being a part, Carrie being a part of her for so many years. This was
a huge part of her life. It's 30 years, 20 years, 25 years, whatever it is. I mean, it's a huge part of her life and her career. It's what she's most known for. Second would probably be Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus.
Yeah. But I mean, this is it, right? And so for her to do the shoes, now she's doing her own wine that you can order. She's really smart, and that is what you're supposed to do when you're in the industry and in business and stuff. So, we love our gal.
Sarah Jessica.
We love her.
So these are a few pictures of scenes from early on. So she meets her Mr. Big. So if you haven't seen the series, go watch it. I'm going to say that throughout the whole show. But we don't have a name.
Really late, but we still want you to catch up.
Huh?
If you haven't seen it, you're really late, but we still want you to watch it.
Yeah, go catch up. So this is her man, the man of her dreams, the love of her life, and we don't have a name for him. The entire season, just so that you guys understand, he is known as Mr. Big. That is his name. He is Mr. Big. So forever and ever in my vocabulary, that is Mr. Big. I don't care that we knew his, we actually found out his name later on. And these are a few pictures of them early on in their relationship.
Do you know, from a metaphorical writer perspective, what people said the reason why he didn't have a name the whole time?
Why?
because the names came and went, and he didn't get a name until it was solid. Like when we knew their name, they were gone. They were gone. Mr. Big was there the whole time through the names.
The whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's smart. He's so handsome. I love Mr. Big. He's a hot mess. I wouldn't want to date him, but I love him.
One of my favorite scenes and pictures ever. And you went there, right? You had dinner there.
Yes, I did. We went, my husband took me actually for one of my birthdays, because he knows I'm obsessed with Sex in the City, as does everybody else. And he was so sweet. He had a surprise for me, and we went to New York and we had dinner at the boathouse. And we rode a horse carriage at night.
Did you jump into that pond or no?
No. It was October. That part was closed off. So the restaurant inside was open, but it was nighttime. And it was winter for them. So they had already closed off the exterior. But I was really excited that I got to go eat there.
Of course. No, like we're going back and we're going to the drag show and we're going to see what else have we not seen from. Like,
there's a whole list. Anna, get ready. There's a whole list.
Ready.
We won't keep you in a bus again. I promise. We'll do it.
Later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do it. Yeah, we'll definitely go back and do all the things that
and you never did.
Your girl is lovely, Hubble. This is a departure, one of their many departures, because they split up a whole bunch of times. And I love it.
And then she goes on to meet Hubba.
Aiden. We love Aiden. Aiden was a sweetheart. He was such a good guy.
I love everything about Aiden. Like
Aiden, yeah. Aiden was just a good old Southern boy wanting to eat KFC.
It feels good. Like it feels like home. Like he's awesome. Yeah. He's beautiful, but he's awesome.
Aiden was a good guy. And she loved him. She did. But the heart wants what it wants sometimes. And that's the tricky part about life.
He got big old hands.
He's so cute. Sir, keep it together. There's children.
Woo! I agree, Mama. But here's my response to that. You ready? She was too messed up for him. He deserved better. And it's I love her, but he deserved better.
Yeah, she was a little bit of a hot mess, though.
She was a hot mess. He deserved better. He deserved me. So
we love him, though. Aiden was a good guy.
Wait, are we diving into the guys now, or this is just another picture? Because I don't want to plead my case on this.
Okay, plead your case. Make it fast. This is
Guys,
Burger.
you don't understand how much I love Burger. I understand he's the worst breakup of all time. The Post-it, I get it. I freaking watch the episodes where they first interact and they first go on dates. Don't talk to me about his insecurities and all this crap. I know, but he had so much potential, and the way their dates were, and they met up randomly, and their little kitschy fun. And I love Burger's episodes. I just hate that he is a hot mess and insecure.
Listen, first of all,
I stand Burger, and I will always do it. And people are always like, "Why are you like Burger?"
That's okay.
I love Burger.
That's okay. You have your opinion, and that's fine. No one's removing them from you. However, the reality is that Burger was insecure as a man, which sucked for her because every success. Excuse me. Every success she had, he was jealous of, and he didn't know how to get himself together. That's number one. Number two, they had to work really hard at their intimacy because it sucked. Or did you forget that? They had like all of these try one, try two, try three of intimacy. It didn't work. They didn't work. And
I
then
love the scene where she goes, one point it was so quiet, I heard somebody getting off the bus.
Off the bus, like she's like, it wasn't good. They didn't have chemistry where they needed it. And then
Samantha's response, at least somebody was getting off.
And then to make it worse, he did her so wrong. He broke up with her on a Post-it note.
Oh, cheers to Burger. I hope you made your shit together and later in life, because you were so good. You had so much potential.
But that's a problem, and that's a problem with what we do a lot in life.
But maybe 10 or 15 years later, he was ready. Maybe he was ready 15 years later.
Okay, Pookie, but listen to what you're saying. This is our problem. We look at people for their potential.
Oh my God, but I just adore the man.
You date him, then hear the bus open and close and open and close and see how you feel.
Well, he was better than this one.
Oh, I hated the Russian.
I
This
hate
guy.
him.
So she dates this guy, y'all, and
Your
he's
friend who
the
died.
worst. He's arrogant. He is entitled and
Insensitive.
oh, he's the worst.
My friend who died.
Who died?
It's terrible. So we're going right past the Russian because we don't like
Yeah,
him.
we don't like the Russian. So dun da da.
Some people are settling down, some people are settling, and some people refuse to settle for anything less
than
butterflies.
butterflies. Woo! Cheers to not
Love
settling
that.
for burger.
Oh my God, I think he could have been so. I almost spilled my drink. Oh no.
You
Okay.
need to go ahead and, sir, you are a married man. Compose yourself.
I'm
So,
talking about TV people. We are not jealous, man. We understand. TV people are allowed to be spoken about. We talk about characters.
Loophole. Got it.
Right, it's TV people like Zac Efron, but like
So she ends up with Mr. Big, which is the love of her life, right? That's who she ends up with at the end of the series, and we're super happy for her. So we just literally went through basically all six of the series, right? I don't even know what's next. Are we good after that? It starts in
now
the
we're going to talk about some of the boys of the series real quick.
Yes, some of the boys, some of the what is it? The gays that make up
some of the gays.
so much of the friendships and the laughters and the love and just the understanding we had.
So now a clip.
Now, you want to do a clip now?
Now a clip of I love this man so much. Let's show this.
Is it long enough for me to go get a drink?
Sounds better. A
I can
small
play two
wedding
clips.
of
Go.
75 guests. Oh. 76 trombones? Yes. 76 guests? No.
As a wedding gift, Charlotte had given me Anthony Marantino, friend and wedding planner.
All right. Well, that's...
Cutthroat. I love it. I hope you're just decisive when it comes to the location and the dress.
Oh, I found the dress.
What? When?
Yeah, the other day I have it.
This is gonna be good.
I am so excited.
Okay. Here it is. Well, that was the exact reaction I was aiming for.
It's pretty, but it's so simple.
Simple and classic. When I saw it, I thought, that is what I should marry Big in.
Well, who's it by? What's the label?
No one. I found it in a vintage shop.
The bride wore a dress by no one.
Oh, come on. You know, I'm gonna merchandise it up, style it up with some shoes.
Right.
The invitation is fancier than the dress.
I heard that.
I meant you to.
We love him.
Which became one of our favorite lines all the time. Me and Pookie said, "I meant you to."
I meant to too. I love it. But that's what we love about him. We love him, and he's like that throughout the whole series and the
He's
movies.
hilarious.
I love him so much.
And because we love him so much, here's another Anthony special clip, which we love.
Months before we can even try to get pregnant again, and I'd like to go back to work, but then if I do get pregnant, that's not really fair to the new
So
employer.
Anna!
So
I'm sleeping and walking, sleeping and walking. How am I doing that?
that's rude. This is important to me.
I know what's important to you. You know what's important to you. The homeless guy in the corner of 57th and 7th knows it's important to you. Can we please talk about something else? I'll give you $100 if you say something bitchy about someone we know.
I'm trying to figure out my next direction, and I need to talk about it.
Fine, talk to my ears bleed. But do yourself a favor and stop for a minute and look at the light.
You mean the fact that no matter what happens with the baby, Harry and I will always have each other?
No, Char, the friggin' light over there in the park.
When did it become fall?
Somewhere between your ovaries and my boredom.
Oh my God, I love him.
Somewhere between your ovaries and my boredom.
I
Oh
love
my
him
goodness.
so much.
Cheers to Anthony.
So
So then, of
amazing.
course, we have one of our favesies forever, our Stanny.
Stanny. We love our Stanny. Look at his
Oh.
outfits.
Just love him. Again, he was very bold and very in your face and very, I don't care if you don't like it. This is me.
This
And
is
we
me.
got to
Guys, and
celebrate that.
remember, keep in mind, we're talking about the 90s. Like,
Yes.
that's why we're like, oh my God, like, this is
Yeah.
insane.
Because now it's whatever. People wear what they want, but this
Yeah,
is
they
not
wear
that
crazier than that, and it's in your face, and everybody just is, it's okay with it. Back then, it was a big deal, and he was Carrie's best guy friend. And she would constantly tell him, like, I'm sorry, honey, tonight it's just the girls. And he'd be like, "Ah, fine, whatever." He'd get like all insulted, but she loved him so much.
Yes.
And that's another funny dynamic to me. It's like she had this relationship with Stanny that was very much theirs.
Theirs.
It was theirs. And whenever she would do things like, this is a girls' event, he wasn't involved. He wasn't included in that. And it was okay. It wasn't like a big deal that he was being excluded. It's just, I feel like she had their friendship in like a different box.
Very much so.
Right?
And then the most unlikeliest of things to happen. Your gay's marrying my gay.
Your gay's marrying my gay. And because they hated each other throughout the season. Watch it.
This is from the first movie. And Liza Minnelli marries them, which is so cool. I don't know if you guys know, Liza Minnelli's not doing too great. So it's cool to have this memory. Like, she was so with it. She did Single Ladies by Beyonce. It was such a cool moment.
She danced and she did great.
And I remember we got like all dressed up in hot movie, like stuff.
We did. We got dressed up. I think we lost you a little bit. You want to repeat that last part?
I just said, like, the movie brought us back. Like, we dressed up, we went to the movies, we enjoyed it so much. And there was shocks, and there was clapping, and there was, and like when the four girls were on the screen, it was like, like, it was really exciting. And there's not a lot of movies that do that it's that level of nostalgia. Like, we were so happy, and it brought friends together to watch a movie, and a couple years later, another movie, and then we have the show now. Like, I love what it does. I really think it's very special.
I remember sitting next to you because we had to sit next to each other when this movie premiered. And I remember us holding hands, and it was like grip after grip after grip. And we're like crying, and we're like, just go. And it's such a beautiful memory that I have.
Yeah.
That it's like,
I remember so vividly because the three girls were on screen, and then Samantha joins, and it's the first time you see the four of them together, and the theater just blew up. And it felt like you don't see that except for like Marvel movies, right? It was like the moment where the Avengers came back to fight. It was like, they're all on the screen. Like, it was such a big deal.
It was there. You can feel the energy in the room. It's like die-hard Sex and the City fans, and then new ones falling in love with it all over again.
And so we wanted to share some of our favorite quotes because there's so many. So you may start with your quotes.
Okay. I am someone who is looking for real love, ridiculous, inconvenient, consuming, can't live without each other love.
And she's wearing
so Carrie says this to the Russian when they're in the room, because the Russian's very matter-of-factly. He's very, just, it's not what she's looking for. And she tells him, like, I'm sorry, this is not your fault. This is me, but this is what I'm looking for. And I think every person feels that to their core. And it's such a bold thing to tell somebody, because a lot of people feel that and they don't have the balls to necessarily say it.
Maybe they just can't own it. Like, they feel like they're ridiculous or they want too much. You know what I mean? And I also love that she's wearing a dress that fills the room, because I do feel like it is that. It is like, this dress is a symbol for like how big this statement is. When she says this, I hang on every word. Real love, ridiculous, inconvenient, consuming, can't live without each other. Like, it's one of my favorite quotes.
She's feeling it as she's saying it. It's not just words.
Yeah.
So
totally.
beautiful.
And then the fact is, sometimes it's really hard to walk in a single woman's shoes. That's why we need really special ones now and then to make the walk a little easier.
She used to that. And I love that perspective. And I feel like throughout the whole entire season, all the seasons and the movies, the love and respect for different women and different people is always there.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it makes it such an inclusive show where it doesn't matter what age, generation. I mean, it matters what age, guys, it's rated R, like, you know, but it doesn't matter like your race, your if you're a woman, if you're a man, there's so much inclusivity and the mentality of like, we're all going through something, guys. Everybody goes through shit and we're all just human and we all want the same things. And I think that especially back then, that wasn't very common to hear.
Yeah. And then she's got her funny quotes, of course. I've spent $40,000 on shoes and I have no place to live. I will literally be the old woman who lived
in her shoes. Yeah. Carrie was not good with her money. She made all this money and she would spend it in Manolos. Look, I like my money right where I can see them hanging in my closet. That was Carrie. She wasn't the most responsible person.
No.
You know, she went through a lot of financial issues because she would blow her money in fashion. But, you know, we love her. And luckily for her, she married somebody that was very wealthy.
Maybe the past is like an anchor holding us back. Maybe you have to let go of who you were to become who you will be.
That is so strong. It's so powerful and it's so true and it's so hard. It's so hard to let go of who we were. It's so hard to just release yourself and embrace who you're supposed to be when you don't even know who that is yet.
Yeah.
So good. Inside every confident woman is a fragile princess waiting to be saved. And that is the quote that all powerhouse women don't want to hear.
As we drive along this road called life, occasionally a gal will find herself a little lost. And when that happens, I guess she has to let go of the coulda, woulda, shoulda. Buckle up and just keep going.
And I want to say this, guys. If you watch the series, I know I'm so annoying, but I want to make sure to explain a lot of these quotes come up in conversations with the girls. And then at the end, since Carrie is a writer, she's putting it into her column. Yeah. So most of the quotes will say Carrie Bradshaw because she's the one that publicizes it on her help me out here, column? on her column. I just said it 2 minutes ago. I think the vodka's kicking in. And
I was like, you said cheers. I was like, I just drank too fast. I'm done with 2 of them. I'm like, how much lives in this damn mixer?
But because of that, most of the quotes do say Carrie. And in reality, maybe it was brought up initially by someone else, one of the other girls.
Yeah.
This was a really important one too. Like, this is when her and Big first broke up. She made the decision and she said, after he left, I cried for a week. And then I realized that I do have faith. I have faith in myself, faith that I would one day meet someone who would be sure that I was the one. So powerful.
And in the movie, she says, enjoy yourself. That's what your 20s are for. Your 30s are to learn the lessons. Your 40s are to pay for the drinks.
Pay for the drinks.
I'm looking forward to that. That means for the next 3 years, you can be buying my drinks. I like it.
Good thing you don't live in the same city as me.
After all, seasons change, so do cities. People come into your life, people go. But it's comforting to know that the ones you love are always in your heart. And if you're lucky, a plane ride away. Oh, I love that one so much.
Cheers to that, because we're just a road, we're just a car ride away.
That is so real in my life right now. That hit. Like, I want to know that episode. I want to watch. That is so good.
Yeah, super, super good. We love it.
Okay.
So what do we have next? They say nothing lasts forever. Dreams change, trends come and go, but friendships never go out of style.
Sure no.
Cheers to that.
We're like, cheers, cheers, cheers.
It's all right. We're not driving.
Or working tomorrow. I can't come to work tomorrow because I had a talk show. Why do I think living in Manhattan is so fabulous?
Because it is. So this is when Miranda's moving to Brooklyn and, she's like trying to make all these excuses, talking about her crappy apartments. And then they're like, it is amazing to live in Manhattan.
And it's okay to feel that way, even though you're going through changes, but you shouldn't feel bad about feeling that way. And I love that. It's like, yeah, girl, you're supposed to feel Manhattan's fabulous. It is.
The most
one we
exciting,
love.
challenging, and significant relationship of all is the one that you have with yourself. And that is a very, very big reminder. And it resonates throughout the whole entire series. It resonates again in the movies. You know, you can love those around you. You can have a wonderful tribe, and you can have soulmates in your friends, but you have to love yourself and work on that relationship. So super cool quote.
Yeah. And so we're done with our quotes, and we're moving on to Sex in the City, the first
Sex in the City
movie.
Part 1.
Oh my
This is
God,
the
I love
movie.
that cover. Isn't it beautiful? Like,
It's wonderful.
oh, it's so good. And so in this movie, of course, we get the girls back together after so many years. Fashion has changed, life has changed, but they're still the girls.
They're still the girls. They're still together.
And this is the scene I was talking about earlier, because they built up to this. It was like one of them, then two of them. When Samantha joined the last girl on the list, it was just like, this is what
everybody just lost it. Yeah, because they're kind of walking together, and then the other one joins, and the other one. So it was awesome.
So good. And they kind of did the same in the second movie, but a little bit different. But in this movie, the big thing at the beginning is Carrie's announcement, which I'm going to play a clip for you guys of Carrie's announcement.
We move forward and, well, we decided to get married.
And I'm deaf.
I'm so excited.
Everybody is looking.
Sorry. I'm so sorry, everyone, but this is my friend, and she just got engaged.
She has been dating the guy for 10 years.
I'm putting it back. I'm putting it back. It's going.
Everyone, but this is my friend, and she just got engaged, and she has been going out with the man for 10 years.
I'm mortified. There's literally a ringing in my ear.
And the big news was about to go by Coastal.
Samantha Jones?
Well, I made a little decision I hope you'll be happy about.
Oh, honey.
Honey, you finally got Botox.
No, I did not get Botox.
I love it.
This was such a scene to me that showed literally the personality of each girl. Like Carrie's
Every
like
one of
calm,
them.
collected. Charlotte is explosive over love. Miranda's like, "Are you kidding me right now?" And Samantha's like, "Yay, Botox!"
It was a perfection of all of their personalities in one scene. It was great.
And then of course we get
Vivienne Westwood. This dress, the dresses, all of them are amazing. I love that they're not matching.
Do you know that I had a fish named Vivienne Westwood?
Yes, I do. And she died.
She did not die. She swam away.
Okay, in the toilet.
No, we watched Finding Nemo together, and I was giving her a bath in the sink, and she jumped in the sink because we watched Finding Nemo, and she went to go find her dad in the sea. So this dress, Vivienne Westwood.
You have had too much Cosmos.
I don't know how much is left in that. I don't think that was all for me or supposed to be. Anyways, I love the scene, especially. I wish I had that video. I love the scene where Carrie's trying on dress after dress after dress because they're all so different and so fun. I love the one with the really big pearls. If I'm not mistaken, it's Carolina Herrera, but I can't remember.
It is Christina Herrera.
The
one that she's over in the chandelier.
Oh, I love it so much.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many fun dresses, but I love the Vivienne Westwood dress, and I do agree. Oh, there's so many. Yeah, they're all good. Like,
anyway,
ugly.
This dress is stunning. She looks wonderful. This is her wedding with Big. She's getting married with Big.
And I agree with you. I love that the girls were all allowed to wear whatever the heck they wanted because I am all for the non-traditional bridesmaid. If you want a color palette, it's fine, people, but don't make every body type dress in the same dress. This is fantastic. This is fabulous.
And all the flowers were different too.
So, the flowers were. It just was so good. But it doesn't work out, huh? So I got a video for you.
Yeah, this is one of those moments in the movie where it was like I couldn't breathe for like the whole scene.
Yeah. All right, let's play that clip. We will not be on air during this clip.
What the fuck am I doing? Turn around, go back.
It's a one-way street. I have to go around the block.
By the time we go around the block, she'll be gone. There's no one behind us. Turn around. I think this is them. Pull over. Pull over.
Carrie!
Carrie. I freaked out for a minute, but I'm ready now.
I knew you would do this! I knew it!
Carrie, I'm sorry.
I am humiliated!
I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
Come on.
Carrie, wait, I'm sorry. Carrie,
No! Come on, in the car.
It's all right. It's all right.
Oh my God. Selfie moment. So I love the whole scene, but I do remember like it was so unexpected. It was supposed to be the wedding of the season, and it was like, what just happened? And then Charlotte's like, no. And then her little waddle to the favorite.
Yeah. But again, in that moment that she's going through so much pain, you can see the pain that her friends are going through with her.
Oh,
Like
Charlotte
this is
was
not
pissed.
just her by herself on a ledge. Like they're suffering with her.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a very intense scene and moment. And then we go on our trip because we already paid for the honeymoon. So it's the best. I absolutely agree. Anna, that's my favorite. Like it's so funny.
She's like waddling. She can barely move.
Oh my God. Next time we're all together, let's watch the movie together. I don't think we've ever watched it together.
Let's do it.
We'll watch the whole series, both movies, and
So you guys are staying over for a whole week by yourselves, no husband,
6
no
months
kids.
later. So they already paid for the honeymoon, so they still went to Mexico. And this was, of course, such a funny scene because she was like, "Will I ever laugh again?" And she's like, "Yes, when something's really, really funny." And sure
Yeah,
enough,
they ended up
something
going
was.
on her honeymoon with her because obviously
Look at
she had
Samantha.
well, it's so funny because they're on this honeymoon trip with her, and Charlotte's super paranoid because she's in Mexico and she's not eating anything but the tapioca pudding. And they're like, "Are you crazy?"
Which is so like ridiculous.
And she's like, "This is the only thing that's made into what is it? Poughkeepsie?
Poughkeepsie.
Who?
Poughkeepsie. I've been there.
And Anemone. I couldn't say it.
I went to Poughkeepsie before.
Well, good. I'm glad. I can't even say it. So, so she's eating all these things, and then she takes a shower, and she's like in her shower, and she opens her mouth, and she swallows a little bit of the
It's like,
water.
boop, boop, boop.
And that scene is so funny. She's like, "Oh,"
Like she's gonna die.
and she's walking back to their like suite, and she's hauling ass because she's gotta poop really.
That is not gonna poop. She's gonna squirt.
She pooped on herself because the maid was cleaning and she couldn't get inside the room, and they're dying laughing. And it's such a moment because it's like, you know, they were right. When something was really funny, I laughed, you know?
And I love that statement because no matter how hard it is, you don't lose your joy. It just takes a moment and we recover, but that's who we are. So laughter is part of our life at all times. And we get through things. And she got dressed, or she got married
Fast
and dressed
forward.
by no one.
Fast forward, she forgave him. They love each other. They got married in a little courthouse, not a big wedding because he was scared of all the people for some reason. And she was very happy. She got dressed in her little non-label vintage dress and her Manolos,
Yes.
which
The iconic Manolos.
which I felt ways. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, yay, she got married. I was like, you know, he got it his way. He's so selfish, but whatever. That's a whole nother show for a whole nother day.
Yeah, I'm here for that. And so then we have our second movie. Let's fast forward into that world. So the girls want to go to
Abu
Abu
Dhabi!
Dhabi.
Woo! And remember us walking into Forever 21 after this came out? Everything was like robes and
Chloe.
big, right? It was insane. I'm gonna put these back on.
I can't do that. I literally will be blind.
Let me see.
Oh my goodness. So in our second
Oh.
movie, they're married and they're in their home and they're all married. And where are you going? We have a show to do. Focus up.
Let's go.
So they go to Abu Dhabi, and this is the outfits that we're talking about that we saw in the mall. Like,
I got motivated again. Look at their outfits. They look amazing.
Where are you going, ma'am? Sit down on the plane. We have to get through the show. So this was the Abu Dhabi trip. This was done by a pool. My favorite part of this scene is, do you know? Of course, you better know what my favorite part is.
Lords of my lady.
No, it's a lift for every fly.
That's not that scene.
No.
No.
Oh, that's by the pool. They're not by the
That's
pool.
a scene by
Okay.
the pool. This scene is Lords of Malavia.
And they had real laughter there too, because you can always tell when it's like a really gut laughter. But I love the scene by the pool where she sees the lady in Abu Dhabi raising the fabric to eat her fry, and she's like, a lift for every fry.
A lift
Like-
for every fry. Yeah.
And then, of course,
That's-
because I mean, it makes perfect sense in the middle of Abu Dhabi to run into your ex. I mean, why wouldn't you?
Aiden, she ran into Aiden. He looks so good.
I mean, because she shouldn't have done what she did. She could have had that
Aiden, girl. Aiden
Girl.
can get it.
all
I'm
day.
just saying.
Twice on Sunday, the day of the Lord.
Woo! Aiden can get it. I was like, he's so cute. And he's so good. Like, he's such a good guy. Even after all these years, he was so excited to see her. And he was like, just embracing her. And oh, now they're on camels. No, you can go back into the.
Back to Aiden. Back to the camels.
Well, you were frozen a little bit, so I was just trying to keep it going.
I don't know
So
what's happening.
they're on camels. Pay attention. So this is beautiful. We got to see a lot of really nice scenery in this movie. In the second part, like it was absolutely gorgeous. I'm dying to go to Abu Dhabi,
Yes.
but I don't have $30,000 a night for the room.
No.
Don't let this hat fool you.
Oh, it's the hat that got me. So I'm gonna play a scene from this movie that I absolutely love, which is a great moment between Charlotte and Miranda, and it's something that we took to heart and kept doing for the rest of our lives. So take a look
Yes,
at this.
we did.
Yes, ma'am. Take a look at this.
You can say it to me.
Oh,
Rose cries all day, every day. It's driving me crazy.
I have been watching you for months. I don't know.
okay, guys. I'm so sorry. Don't know what's
Sometimes
happening.
I go in the other room and I close the door, and I just let her scream. Isn't that awful?
No, that's survival. Take a sip.
And can I tell you something else? I feel guilty. I feel so guilty because all I ever prayed for was to have a family, and now I have these two beautiful girls.
And
They're driving me crazy.
being a mother is hard.
Oh my God, it is so hard. And when oh no, I can't. I can't. It's awful.
Sip. Go.
When I heard Samantha say that Harry was going to cheat on me with Aaron, my first thought was, I can't lose the nanny.
I
Such an
love
honest-
it.
such
I
an
love
honest
it.
Friendship, such an honest moment.
Guys, listen, really quick side note. I know this is a long episode. We love you guys. Just stick with it. Sorry, we love this show. It's absolutely part of our lives, and we wanted to share it with you guys. So thank you for those that are still hanging on.
So how much did you love that scene?
A lot. I related to it so much. I mean, hello, we love our children, we love our family, but they drive us crazy. And it was such a raw moment between moms. And it was such a like next level to their relationship and their friendship because they're the only two that are moms out of the four and they can relate to each other. And I love that Miranda was like, girl, get real. Like it's hard as fuck.
We're
Like
not
it's
home.
okay.
It's just you and me.
Yes. So to all of the single mothers in the world that
We're just
don't have
mothers.
help, and even those that do have help, and just a mom in general, like take a sip. Cheers to you because motherhood is not easy at
But we
all.
love to say take a sip. Like now when we're having like heart to hearts and we're going through something, we're like, take a sip. Like
Take a sip.
just take a
Take
sip.
a sip. That's our thing. Take a sip.
One time Anna took a lot of sips, but we won't talk about that. So
Yeah, no, do not. We do not kiss and tell.
So just a few more pictures from our Abu Dhabi era. Oh, I love that dress. Like,
This look.
totally.
This look right here. Oh,
One of the
let
best.
me
And
tell
that's why
you.
it was like the cover on a lot of the ads. Like it was really,
I
really
will say this. I love her. She is literally like a best friend in my head. Everybody knows that. I don't think she's beautiful.
No,
She
it's
is
just
exotic
she's-
looking.
yes.
She
and
has her
fabulous.
moments where she looks very cute and she's put together. And there are moments where I'm like, ay, que linda, because I love her. In this outfit, when she came out, and I love my sips. Yeah, girl.
This cup keeps emptying itself. I don't know what's going on.
Well, I'm like trying to like just not even sip. I'm pretending because I don't have any more left almost.
But I will tell you this also. The makeup on this had a lot to do with it. That makeup was so well done. It was gorgeous.
But guess why? Guess why?
Because it was
What year
20,
was this?
20 something. Yeah, whatever. 20, whatever.
Yeah.
It was then.
Yeah. So it had everything to do with it. She
It was
looked
contoured up and the smoky
so
eye. Like,
good.
She never looked better. She never looked better.
I was like, damn, she looks amazing. Look at the difference here.
Yeah. It has a lot to do with makeup because makeup does transform your face. And so
Yes, she looks so good.
because her
They both
body
look
and frame has
amazing.
definitely not changed. So it's not that, you know.
No, she's always looked amazing. She has like such a slender, good physique. And look at Kim. Well, Samantha. Let's call her Samantha.
We love Samantha when she was dressed on the red carpet the same as Miley.
Yes, and she fucking rocked it. She looks amazing.
Completely. Yeah. The makeup, I mean, it's clear. It's very, very obvious.
This is another
some
red carpet
photos,
moment.
right?
Huh?
There's just some red carpet.
Yeah, just red carpet moments.
Oh, but I love it. I love
that they're all there. It just shows like the friendships, the relationships, like they would just show up for each other. This is Smith Jared's premiere from his movie because he was a big star, and they all went to show love and support to him.
Yes. And then of course I love this. Oh, it's so hard for me to read right now. We made a deal ages ago. Men, babies, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. We're
We're
soulmates.
soulmates. I love it.
Cheers to soulmates. This is in the part 2, and they're out and they're karaokeing and they're having a girls' night. And Samantha's
Worst
like,
karaoke song ever.
listen here, we were very excited about that karaoke scene, and I was like,
We literally don't complain a lot about Sex and the City. We're like, what was that song? Like, there are so many options in this world. We've sung them. And that was not one of the ones on our list. Like, I was like, I am woman, hear me roar. I was like, what? Like,
but
now
then,
I like it. Now I like it.
But then I remember I was telling you, I was like, well, they were in the Middle East.
I don't wanna hear it.
And oh my God, my glasses have like the 2 rings of the light on them. I look like an alien.
We need to move along or we're never going to finish the show because we're both getting drunk. So this is real bad.
Listen,
And
it's
just
not.
like
It's real
that-
good. It's actually, this is where it's getting good.
And just like that, we moved into the new era, a new chapter of Sex and the City, the after Sex and the City, and they retitled it, and just like that. And this was a very mixed emotions kind of show because, of course, we want more time with our girls. We love them so much.
It was awful.
But it was
It was
not.
awful. I'm going to say why it was awful for me, and then you can say why it was awful for you.
Yeah.
So I've been following these women for over 20 years, right? I know them. I love them. They're my friends. We hang out. They're literally in my living room every day, right? In my office most of the time, in my bedroom hanging out. So there's a consistency of it, right? And I know what to expect, and I know how they are, and I know their humor, and here it comes, and just like that.
Yep.
Not only was it very difficult that Samantha was not going to be in the series, which was already very hard for like diehard fans as we are to kind of wrap our mind around the fact that now there would be 3 instead of 4. But we're like, okay, things happen. We understand, you know, whatever. We respected the fact that she just didn't want to do it anymore.
Right.
But my issue is I feel like they wanted to catch everybody up to the current times of how we're living, but they did it in like cyber speed, and they did it without any delicacy, and they did it using our girls as literal like shields to what was going on. So I feel like our girls were constantly getting hit and battled and mistreated, and just for being who they were and who they always thought was okay to be, and who we learned to love, and we were shown that it was okay to be throughout the show.
And I do feel like there was very valid points made, because I do feel like women of their age are probably struggling with a lot of the things that they went through in their life. But it's like the bigger thing to me was I never came to Sex and the City to find out what's going on in our world. I came for girls' time, for joy, for laughter, for relationships, for fun, for sex, for laughter, for fun, for drinking. And none of that was there. And I was like, you know, drinking became, one of them was an alcoholic, and this became that. And so, wait, before we fully dive into and just like that, I have 2 clips from Sex and the City that will show you 2 of my favorite moments before we leave Sex and the City. That, like, how do you think full? This signal is killing me. Even the way they argued in Sex and the City was different. Am I back? Am I back? Am I clear? Okay.
Yep, you're here.
So look at this clip, for example. This is from Sex and the City. Look at this little argument they had. And it wasn't heavy. It was actually really funny.
Good for you, Charlotte. Just don't be too disappointed if all you wind up with is a pretty ceramic mug with Trey's name on it. Take that back!
I'm hanging up.
Don't you dare hang up! I'm interviewing girls to replace me, and I really
need you to get behind my choice.
You get behind your choice.
I am behind my choice. I choose my choice.
Charlotte, I don't have time for this. I have to go to work. Some of us
still have to go to work.
I choose my choice. I choose my choice.
It is still to this day. It's an argument, but it's funny. It's entertaining. The arguments in this and just like that were heavy. And one more thing before we go on to and just like that. I'm like, I don't want to go into delete and just like that. But I'm excited that they're doing. We'll talk. But look at this episode, which of course I cannot not show. This is pure joy, and this is the essence of, for me, Sex and the City's joy.
I had no idea where the chickens had gone, but I hoped it wasn't the Bronx, and I hoped they were happy. The next Saturday, Samantha decided to throw a kiss and makeup party for the Up My Ass players and their friends.
Trey called me 3 times last week. He's just dying to get back together, but I don't know. I mean, is that wise? Oh my God. I'm obsessing again, aren't I?
A little bit.
So, what are we all drinking?
Flirtinis, vodka, pineapple, and champagne. Flirtinis.
Destiny made them. Honey, I'm way past a flirtini. I need a flirtini.
Watch the language, there's ladies present.
Where?
Hey,
you're the flower. Look
what
up.
do you mean, you with the flower? You talking to me?
You girl.
What do you want?
I want you to give me a twirl and a twirl.
I need to see you spin first, sister. Don't worry. They have a very...
So that, I mean, I've lived those moments with my friends. I've been in that room with my friends. That's what I come to Sex in the City for. And coming to end just like that, that's what I was excited about. And me and Poogie actually planned, like, okay, we're going to watch it at the same exact time. We were super excited. Little to find out, yes, it was the same people we knew, but not the same show. Not the same show. And so I will say this. I am hopeful because they're making a season 2. So maybe they will have a chance to right their wrongs. We'll see. We will see what happens. But
I mean, I'm all about changing. I'm all about evolving. I understand that not everything can stay the same, but the dynamic of who they are and the friendship that they have and the silliness and the understanding has to stay no matter what else is going on in their life. Because otherwise, what are we talking about? You know what I mean? Like, what is a soulmate? What is a friendship that you've instilled for the last 20 years? So I agree with you. I do hope that they bring a little of that back. I don't know if they were just trying to like get everything condensed into one to kind of catch everything up. So we'll see.
Yeah, I definitely think that they're going to do their part because I think they do hear the audiences and know that. So, you know, we'll see what comes next. That's all we can say.
But they look amazing. They really do. They look great. I love Miranda's hair. Love, love, love. Absolutely love the gray hair in Miranda.
Yeah, she owned it and it looked good.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And then, of course, we have this moment, of course, showing her that she's still with Big, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing all the girls. We're seeing their updates. We're catching up to them. We're seeing where her and Steve are, right? And then
yeah, absolutely.
How their life has somewhat slowed down and whatnot.
Yeah, they're just kind of like living the regular mundane, like everyday type, you know, just older couple that comes home and they have like a whole little ice cream bar set up, which is super funny.
And very realistic.
Yeah, very realistic. I'm like, yeah, I can kind of relate to that. I know what that feels like. Just coming home and, you know, relaxing and kind of just, you know, doing your thing.
Yeah. And it is real. It is part of a real relationship. And then of course Charlotte is dealing with.
Yeah. So Charlotte has her girls, her teenagers, which is so much fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she has Lily, which is this preppy, super like obedient, very, you know, perfect for all intents and purposes, like young lady, right? And then you have Rose, that's like this, she's just out there trying to figure herself out, and she's a little bit of a rebel, and she's like the teenager that everybody cringes about, where she's like, I don't want to wear a dress, and I don't like dresses, and I want to wear this, and I want to, you know, cut my hair, and I want to go skateboarding. And she's very much a rebel in the way that she wants to find herself, right? She wants to like be true to herself and find out who she is. And her mom is just doing what she knows, which is raising a girl, right? Raising a little girl.
Yeah, totally. And then we have the shock, like we have to show the shock.
Amanda says, me, hold on, so Amanda can relate. Yeah, Amanda's my Rose, right? Where she's kind of like just doing her own thing, and I'm like cringing and crying, and I'm like, put the dress, Amanda, and she's like, no. So
wear your bright ass yellow shirt to the farm.
Yeah, basically. So, you know, it's navigating, and every child is different, and every parent deserves grace to deal with the individuality of each child. So I think Charlotte's doing a great job.
Yeah, so we can't talk about And Just Like That without showing a clip of the shock of the century, because again, we were ready to watch this. We had our champagne and we were excited. And then we had a little bit of a shock. So spoiler alert if you haven't watched it, but it is on episode 1. It did happen like forever ago, so get to it. But we're going to show it.
John?
John! Oh, God. Oh, God, John. Oh, John, honey. John. Honey. Oh. Honey, help me. Come on, baby. John. 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 Oh, God. John.
And just like that, Big died.
This was so stupid. Like, I cried. I mean, I get emotional now just looking at that again. Like, I cried as if it was a family member. It was so intense and it was so unexpected. And it was just one of those things where, you know, we're like, what? Like, what do you mean? And it was the very first episode of the season. So it's like this, it was just like boof, like in your face, like, okay, this is what we're doing.
I will tell you, I never watched it again until right now, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate the choice of the writers. I wish they'd never done this. I feel like they went through enough that we didn't have any done. Hold on. I know I'm coming back. Hold on. I hate the decision. I wish they hadn't done this. I feel like they went through enough that had they needed to have him pass away, they should have passed away together as old people, like The Notebook. Like, I hated it. I hated it, and it broke my heart, and I was devastated. It was much, much more than a moment. It was much more than, oh my God, I'm sad. It was terrible. I hated it, and I hate it to this day, and I wish it didn't happen, but it did. And so onward, you know, and so Big is gone, and then you know, we move on to a funeral because that's fun. So our whole second episode is more a funeral, right? I don't know if there's anything you wanted to add about all of this stuff.
Nope, it's just sad,
right? We had moments of nostalgia pop into And Just Like That. Those were my favorite moments, right? Like seeing this dress again. I was like, the dress!
So she goes back to her single girl's apartment that she, you know, always kept. She never let that go.
Yeah. And so then, things like that were special to me.
Yes.
Seeing her, you know, wearing high fashion in France again, loved it. So there was a lot of moments.
In this scene, she's there to release his ashes, right? And this is a scene where he came to kind of sweep her off her feet whenever they got back together. So it had significance. This is the same bridge where they got back together, and this is the same bridge where she released his ashes. So it was really beautiful. It was obviously nostalgic, obviously very, you know, depressing. I cried like my family member had passed away. And that's how you feel when you've been watching a show for 20 years. And they're in your home every day. Like, you feel that, you know?
Yeah. It's definitely hard. I mean, and I you guys know, I've said it before, I watch shows and I'm very, very in love with characters. I don't love things lightly, and so I'm invested. It's just like in Grey's Anatomy, when people leave or pass away, it breaks my freaking heart because it's been years and years and years of watching it. So, you know, it's really hard. And then of course, like, love to see this, you know. But the show was filled with a lot of heavy emotion, heavy conversations.
It's like a roller coaster for me. There's things that we love because we love them. We love seeing them togetherness. I loved that scene with like Charlotte consoling her girls. Like, you know, we love you. yes, a death has happened in our family, but we're here, we're together, we're strong. And then, you know, now it's like moving forward, there's new blood coming into the show, which is a little bit difficult too when you're talking about they're not replacing anyone per se, but they're kind of replacing people per se. So it's a little difficult. So these are the new cast members, right? I don't know if I missed any. I'm not sure if I did or not.
These are the main new ones, if not, you know. And I will say this, like, I was so excited, especially about seeing, you know, Sarah Ramirez join. She's from Grey's Anatomy. I'm a huge fan of her. And I really disliked a lot about her character. I thought she was abrasive, aggressive, rude, and in your face in a way that I didn't enjoy. And I was let down by that. And the other people, I truly felt like all of them felt forced. I felt like none of them felt natural.
Well, the way that you felt about Che, I kind of feel like every single new character is, I understand what they were trying to do. They wanted to bring diversity. They wanted to bring dynamic into the show. And I understand that. What I do not like in the script and the way that it was written is that every single one of these women have a way of making our girls feel like shit. And that bothers me.
Because they're the new era, so they're making them question who they are and they're not. And
these are the new era, or even if they're not new era, it's culturally different. It's, you know, heritage different. And they're making the women feel and look stupid. And there's no reason for that. There could have been the same inclusivity that Sex and the City has always shown over any type of race, sexuality, heritage. It didn't matter, because whether or not it was diverse in its main, you know, characters or not, I understand them wanting to bring that. But there was diversity from the first freaking episode in that show. And it never stopped. It never stopped.
I mean, there's a lot of commentary about the show being primarily white and not having a lot of representation. And I can see that. But again, it was also
you know what?
I can see it to a degree, because if you step out of, but it was also the 90s. It's a different world.
I'm sorry, but I'm not going to sit here and justify them wanting to bring diversity in as to shitting on what was done in the past.
But that's my point. Don't do it to serve a purpose. Do it organically. Like, let people be who they are. I agree.
Fine, bring in diversity, but don't say that they did anything wrong, because out of all the freaking shows that I can think of, they're the only ones that had diversity, inclusivity, way ahead of their times, talking about things that no one would have ever thought of.
It's no different than
transsexuals.
It's no different than having one gay character in a movie and it's like, oh, we're diverse. It's like, you did it to serve a purpose. Like, do it the right way.
And they did it very organically throughout all the seasons and the movies. So why was this so harsh? Why was this one so in your face? Why was this one, every single new character that came in had a way of, you know, look at this particular scene. Like, Charlotte was invited to a dinner, and then it was like, oh my God, like, we're the only white people, you know, in this dinner. And then that started making her question her friends. Because they commented like, oh, well, do you have any African Americans in your circle? And
here's the thing with that. Like, I have mixed feelings, because I don't have an issue with bringing up the question, because I'm all about diversity and stuff like that. I just don't know that that's what I wanted from the girls or from this show. Like, I'm all about bringing up the question of like, we should be opening our arms to all cultures, races, stuff like that. Fine, but not in a way that makes somebody feel bad. And there's a different way to present it. And it was heavy and negative and negative and negative.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like, it didn't need to be that way.
Well, and where I agree with you to a certain extent, I also disagree, because I don't feel that the show was that undiverse. Like, they're making it sound like it was all white all the time. You know what I mean? Like, and it wasn't. There was so much diversity in that show that I think that if you wanted to bring a main character in that was a little bit more, you know, diverse, that's fine. But not in this way. Not bash everything that's ever happened, because it was uncalled for.
Okay. I'm like, I don't know what to say.
No, I'm just like, because every single character made the girls feel awful. It was
I think it has a lot to do with that. It has a
Yeah,
lot.
like they were so mean about it.
Has a lot to do with the presentation and the delivery and what the point of it was.
Yeah,
Not just making it natural and just like, okay, now we
yeah,
have a
like,
surprise.
oh, this
Like,
is
it's
my friend,
fine.
and this is my friend. Cool. This is my professor. Great. We love you. It's fine. No, it was very like, well, what do you know? And how do you know? It was very, I didn't appreciate that.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's a lot of problems with this character. And again, I love Sarah Ramirez so much. But this character of Che was just hard to like. It was a very unlikable, aggressive, abrasive character who was being forceful in all kinds of ways. And again, I am part of the LGBT bubble, so don't come for me. I understand there are people like that. I thought it was a lot.
I just think that she was, you know, she knew Miranda's situation. She knew what Miranda was going through. And she was very harsh on her and not understanding or like not guiding her. She was kind of like making her feel bad for not knowing certain things or not understanding certain things in the way that she wanted her to, or in the way that the newer generation sees things.
Yeah, and sexuality aside, if you care about a human being, you don't encourage them to do something that they would ethically feel bad about, like doing the things she did while still being married to Steve. You would be like, I don't think, if you want to explore, like, you have the right to, but there's steps, right? So I didn't like what she was,
Yeah. This is a really cool outfit that so there was like a party going on in her house and Carrie was invited, and it was very like, I don't want to say words.
I know it was of her culture. I'm not exactly sure which country she's from.
Yeah, I'm thinking, and I'm like, I'm not sure, and I don't think I wrote it down anywhere.
I think we could say of Indian descent.
Indian descent, yes.
I don't know which country, so
I'm not sure. But it's beautiful. It's very cultural. It's celebrating different heritages, and I loved the outfit. I think she looks great.
Yes, and as is life, people have passed away since the show, and we have to just
So we're losing you a little bit there,
it's literally
but
a quote that
yeah, it's coming.
Not
it's
in
coming
Stanny
in
moment.
now. Yeah, so we wanted to
Am I
definitely just give a recognition to our Stanny forever, our Stanny. There's a scene that you and I quote all the time, and we love it because he's saying that he's unattractive and he's this and he's that, and then Carrie tells him, then you can't see what I see. And then in turn, she says something about she's not model material and this and that. And he tells her, then you can't see what I see. So we tell each other that all the time, like, you can't see what I see. And forever will be our Stanny. We love him so much. He's such a big part. I cried.
I was in a restaurant. I was in a restaurant and I got texted from Jackie, and Jackie's like, and so very sad.
I was in Hawaii and I'm in the middle of a tour, and I was just like, oh my God. Like, Joe's like, what's going on? I'm like, Stanny died. I'm like crying like it's my family member. We love him, and I'm so sorry for his family.
And the more TV I watch, the more I realize, my God, this guy was in everything, not just Sex and the City. He's everything.
He had a lot of things. He's just my Stanny, so I love him for that.
And then
also, our beloved Magda. Happy time. She passed away as well in 2020, and she was such a big part of the show, and we loved her and wanted to definitely give her recognition for being part of, such a legendary show.
Yes. And then to wrap up our show, we've got to show some.
Can you believe it? We're actually going to end tonight. Guys, we love you.
I'm sorry for all the technical.
It's been super long. Yeah.
Sorry for all the technical chaos this evening, but thanks for sticking with us. We wanted to show you some of our forever fan moments and show you how big a fans we are. So here's a picture of you.
So this was, I want to say, my 36th birthday. I want to say 36. I'm not sure on the number, and there's no candles on the cake. But The girls from my office at the time threw me a surprise Evie and the City birthday party,
So
which
cute.
was super amazing. I will forever hold this so dear to my heart. Jackie was involved, my daughter, and she had like this whole outfit that she had packed for me. I didn't even notice. And my sister was involved, which was also working with me at the time. And they had this whole conspiracy thing going on. And I walked into the office and I was like, oh my God, that was all set up. And then I had an outfit and shoes to change into, which was amazing. And it was so cute. And I will always hold that very dear to my heart because I loved it.
And I mean, it's the really adorable party, and a lot of surprise went into that, which I always love. And then we also went on the Sex and the City tour in New York.
Yes, and that was for my 39th birthday.
So all your birthdays are Sex and the City. Got it.
Guys, I mean, you can't go wrong.
So here's Anna.
Me and Anna. Cheers. To like half of a sip that's left. So that's me and Anna. We went to New York City. It was like a super random. You called me and you were like, okay, we have to do this. Let's just go. And we picked up and we went to New York and we went on a tour for Sex and the City. And we had so much fun and it was amazing. And we got all dressed up.
Yes, and so this is a picture in front of the fountain where she says, your girl is lovely, Hubble. So there's a bunch of moments, right, where it's like different things throughout the series. And then this is the sex store where we find who buys. Charlotte buys the rabbit, right?
Yes, the rabbit, and then she's obsessed.
Charlotte buys the rabbit. So it's Rodrigo, and then Anna and Pookie and me. And so then this is just us on the way to Magnolia Bakery, where I was really upset because a few years ago everybody got really big cupcakes, and that changed this year. So I'll show you the cupcakes in a moment. But I thought these pictures were hilarious. Like the first one is we're posing, and the second one, that's my life. And then it was funny because I didn't realize that Pookie and Anna had the same moment, pose, and then that's the real life.
Oh, that is so funny. I don't even know what was happening there. That's just.
I love Anna's face. She's like, what's happening?
She's like, whoa. Her face is like, damn, you can carry me.
You're wrong. And so here's the little cupcakes we got while Pookie was the only one that got the big cupcake.
I know. I was happy. I was like, I don't know what your problem is. I had a big old cupcake.
I was so mad.
Just fun fact, I did go there on my honeymoon with my husband, and I was able to go to the actual bakery inside, and I was able to pick a cupcake, just to rub it in a little bit.
The tour was very different after COVID or recession or whatever you want to call it. It was so much better after years back. But if you love the show, it's still worth it. I think I would tell people, write a map and do it yourself.
Absolutely. That's what we're going to do next time.
We did end up at Steve's bar for our Cosmopolitan.
Yes, that was so cool. I was so excited about that.
So we had our Cosmos.
Our Cosmos.
And then we also went to the spot of the rehearsal dinner from season 1. Yes, now, guys, remember, this is during COVID, Corona, like mask up season. So it was very hard to get pictures. So we tried. Sorry for the people who are blurry or dark. And we didn't have a lot of time. We had to hurry up. And
we had to like sneak them because we would like stay behind a little bit and sneak the pictures and then go back.
We're rebels. And then the grand finale, of course, the moment we were waiting for was to get to Carrie's house.
Yes! Oh my God, the stoop.
So we got to go to the stoop. And if you've not been there before, it does tell you this is private property. Do not trespass. But you can stand there and take pictures because it is a sidewalk.
Yes,
but you can't like go up and down the stairs. And so we've got our little pictures there. So super cute.
We're so excited, and the weather was wonderful. It was really nice. It was a little like rainy, but it cleared up. So it was like cool.
It was good that it wasn't Florida heat because that's what we're over.
I agree.
And that was our tour. So I have a momentary video to share, and I know that we've had some technical difficulties this evening, so I'm a little worried about playing another video.
Every time we play a video, I don't know, something happens. Like I think YouTube's like,
it's okay. We're gonna probably have to edit this video and post it over again, but that's okay. So I'm gonna play the video, and we'll see what happens.
Let's do it.
If it cuts you guys off again, love you.
We can do it in like little sections. That way, it's not 2 hours and just like.
Yes. Good idea. So all I wanted to say, and this is dedicated to my Pookie.
I want to thank you all for wishing me well tonight. In spite of some of your personal opinions about my leaving.
Me? I've never had an opinion in my life.
You guys, stop. Please.
Easy there, Waterworks.
So that's the first part of the clip. Maybe breaking it up will help.
Maybe.
So we're gonna play the second part of the clip real quick.
Today I had a thought. What if I had never met you?
It will never get old. It will never be less meaningful. It is one of my favorite shows of all time, and it's a favorite moment of mine. That question, what if I'd never met you? We say it to each other all the time. My life would suck without you. I would not understand. It would be a completely different film. It wouldn't make sense. There's no way.
Imagine how weird.
It wouldn't make sense. It's a different movie. It's a different person. It's a different life. And so that clip could not go unplayed because it deserved a spot in this crazy Sex and the City tribute, best friends forever, my life would suck without you, people like us show.
2-hour show.
Yeah. You know,
the first one, like, our shows are so long. And this one, I'm like, I don't care. Let's stay here all night.
She was the producer. And so
guys, I was putting together this video, and I'm like, the slides, and I'm like, oh my God, I need to stop. It's too many, it's too long. And I'm like, I can't stop.
And so we want to make sure that everybody knows that this show is dedicated.
Yes.
To the Sex and the City fans around the world.
Yes, all of the Sex and the City fans around the world. And may your martini glass always be full, not like ours right now. May you always love and work on the relationship with yourself, and may you recognize your soulmates. I've been very blessed to recognize mine, and I love you. And you're frozen again in a very important moment. You're completely frozen.
I said I was trying to do the arm hearts. I was trying to do the arm hearts, but my shirt's too tight. I can't do it.
Don't. I said something so nice. Don't make me mad.
So, guys, this brings us to the end of our season 1. I know this was crazy long. I will tell you there's big changes coming for season 2. We're already working on it. We are about to take I don't know where Pookie is going right now, but she's going somewhere. So we're going to take a few weeks off, and we will definitely announce our return to the show. So keep in touch on the TikTok and the Instagram. I don't know where she's going. Guys, touch with us. We will let you know.
This has been so much fun. Thank you so much. Definitely new things coming. Don't worry. This is our first and last 2-hour show. It will not happen again. So consider yourselves lucky that you've been hanging out with us for this long. We love you. Go find your tribe. Go find your people. Life is better when we do it together. Thank you for hanging out with people like us. We love you so much.
Love you.
I agree. I'm going to go watch my show.